Zeus.
Good morning.
Yeah. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. I'm up early in the morning, time to get it in. Time to show and prove, show you what I've been doing. They saying fools rush in, but I'm coming with a passion. I'm trying to get to know you while you're thinking that I'm asking. I like to get it poppin', cause my sound is supersonic. I done came so
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning, I just woke up out my sleep, threw some water on my face. Yeah, it's just another day in the Golden State. Ain't no tossing and turning all the time for insomnia. I know the best way to make it is to cut the drama and give it my all and follow through on what I promise. And even if I fail, at least I was honest. See, I can only do what's in my power to do, and what good is this power if I use it like a fool? If I wanna make it to the top, I gotta study clues, or I can sit back and just watch the news. Don't try to photocopy, you can never top me. I was born to be a winner, you can never stop me.
Don't try to photocopy, you can never top me. I was born to be a winner, you can never stop me.
Be your feelings and be careful when you flash it.
When you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy.
It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy. It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee.
I just put my watch on, you know what time it is.
I'm chasing my purpose in this music business. Let's get it in, I'm so focused on my mission. There's no competition, there's no excuses for opposition.
Hey.
One thing's for certain, I'm motivated to be in the kitchen. I gotta listen if I wanna make a difference, cause what I'm doing can be lost in an instance. Now I'm making a living, so why the hell are they tripping? Is it because I'm the one that they see in their visions? I got a million different ways I can hit with precision. I know I'm gifted cause the way that I speak causes change. And even though it's hard, I stayed in my lane. You got to stay in your lane, ladies and gentlemen. I was born to be a winner, you can never stop me. Don't try to photocopy, you could never top me. I was born to be a winner, you can never stop me.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Let's get this show started. Alright, today is Wednesday, February 21st. Alright, and you know what we came to do. Alright, I know you all are keeping me on my toes out there.
It's like a curse.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're keeping Zeus on his toes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is showtime.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it.
This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous. That algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we go with my zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin is my bestie.
And if they is my ex, that mean they left me. They gon' keep me pumping.
Good morning, attacking. Good morning, comrade.
All right.
Hey, got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take off in a spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
Yes.
Shit was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's like
deja vu, ladies and gentlemen. All right, DJ. Go ahead and kill the music. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Thunderdome. You know who I am, all right? And for those of you who don't know who I am, let's go ahead and get this show started. If you don't know who I am, let's start there, all right? First of all, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. Listen, I promise to tell you nothing but the truth, so help me God, all right? That's the first H. The second H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am humble. I'm the most humble person on social media. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, I really will be the first to apologize. But it just turns out I haven't been wrong lately, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. I can't make this stuff up, all right? And then the last and final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain the most handsome. Many of you are familiar with what we do over here on this side of TikTok, on this side of town. What we do on this side of town, ladies and gentlemen, is quite special. All right. It really is. We hold our friends on the right, especially their leader, Donald J. Trump, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes. And believe you me, when it comes to dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes, there's plenty of that to go around in the Republican Party, the MAGA Republican Party, all right? And so with that being said, I must give you a bit of a heads up, all right? I know there's a lot of folks out there that don't like hearing the information that I share out, all right? They say I'm spreading hate, which is completely, it's baseless. It's a lie. It has no merit to when these folks say that. What is going on here is these folks are what I call factose intolerant, right, Dark IT lady? These folks out here, ladies and gentlemen, are factose intolerant, like my good friend Brother Swervin likes to say. And so I got a bit of a heads up again. Like I said, if you are factose intolerant, that means you have an allergic reaction to the facts. You might want to leave this live, right? Leave this live and go on about your miserable morning, all right? Your miserable day, all right? Because that's what it's going to be, all right? Because guess what's going to happen? If you were hungry, it'll make you feel full. If you were happy, it'll make you feel sad when you start hearing the stuff that we're talking about, all right? And there's a lot of us that are committed to doing this work, all right? So that was your warning, but get this. They never believe me when I tell them this is going to be an uncomfortable show. They never believe me. So you know what I said? I said, you know what? You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
You hear that? You hear that, MAGA? Yeah. All Trump supporters, as far as I'm concerned, you are a detriment to this country, and it's becoming crystal clear why. Because you're not patriots. You are KGB descendants. You're Vladimir Putin's assets at this point. It's crystal clear. The amount of Russian involvement in the MAGA Republican Party, ladies and gentlemen, is disturbing. It's disgusting. But I'm so glad it's now out in the open. The cat's out of the bag, MAGA. You're Putin operatives, all right? And so at this point, I'm not going to really sugarcoat anything, all right? You know how this is going to go down, all right? Many of you familiar with the way we run this show. And the gloves are officially off. And people ask me, well, Zeus, why do you talk so, strongly and direct to these Trump supporters? It's almost as if there's a little animosity in your voice with them, right? And I said, well, listen, I'll be honest with you. The stuff that I'm saying now, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't have said it 3 weeks ago, right? Many of you, you know me. I have a big heart for a lot of people. The stuff that I'm saying, I wouldn't have said it 3 weeks ago. But we can't be kind anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot be kind with MAGA anymore. Because guess what? The gloves are off. And the jar is open.
Everyone knows and I wouldn't have said this 3 weeks ago.
I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have said it. I was actually very kind to him. But now we can't be kind anymore because the gloves are off. The jar has been opened.
The gloves are off and the jar has been open. And like I said, I want to say the jar was officially open and the gloves came off on January 6th, but I'm not. It started when that criminal fraud leader you got, your cult leader, came down that golden escalator and began his nasty attack on the Capitol. The way he disparaged Barack Obama with that birther conspiracy, you folks have done something that is unforgivable. So let's get this show started. Trumpsters who want a civil war hope that they can create enough chaos to fulfill their fantasies. You see that word fantasies? It shows you how sick these folks are. And by the way, these are some of the folks they'll be out here and they'll call themselves Christians, right? Evangelicals. These folks, but when you really drill down into their rhetoric, they're not Christians. They're heathens, they're demons, they're MAGA demons. All right, America is under assault in the 9th year since Donald Trump burst onto the political scene. It's happening so often now that it's become normalized. This is a very real danger to the survival of our republic. They like to say Donald Trump isn't a politician. He's been in it for a long time. 9 years is a long time. You do 9 years anywhere else on the planet, you're a professional. So I'm not buying this crap. And they're getting more brazen. This past weekend, a group of masked, clad Nazis marched through downtown Nashville, complete with swastikas and racist chants. I saw them. And the media treated it like it was just another day. Republicans who run Texas are in open defiance of the United States Supreme Court and the federal government over who has legal responsibility for enforcing our immigration laws and protecting our borders. It's the most significant challenge to federal authority since the nullification crisis of 1832 that led us straight into a civil war. You keep begging for it. You know they say, be careful what you ask for. I'm telling you Trump supporters that you might want to be careful what you're asking for out here because folks aren't playing. Folks have woken up to what you're doing, and I'm one of those folks, all right? Having been caught in the middle of a civil war years ago in Uganda and having one of my colleagues lose their lives by stray gunfire in a refugee camp, I can say with pretty high level of certainty that anybody who's pushing civil war here in America has never experienced one, all right? All right? And this is somebody that's actually speaking from experience. His name is Jacob Ware, author of Guns, God, and Sedition, Far-Right Terrorism in America, and a consultant to the Council on Foreign Relations. This is what he says. Just days after Maine Secretary of State Shanna Bellows ruled that Trump had committed sedition and therefore couldn't be on the state ballot, she was swatted at home. Judge Tanya Chutkin and Arthur Engoron have also been targeted by fascist Trump followers. A Trump devotee armed with a hammer broke into Nancy Pelosi's home and tried to attack her husband, Paul Pelosi, to death. On the campaign trail, Trump regularly refers to the incident as if it was some sort of victory for him and his people, joking about it in a way that seems that some interpret as encouragement for future similar attacks on Democrats. Another apparent Trump follower just last month unalived and took off the head of his own father because he was a federal employee and therefore part of the deep state that Trump has repeatedly called to be destroyed. In October, survey by the Public Religion Institute found that fully 23% of Americans agree with the statement that, quote, true American patriots may have to resort to violence in order to save this country. The Institute CEO, Melissa Deckman, told, you have political leaders like Donald Trump who are not willing to ratchet down the rhetoric. In fact, they're doing the very opposite. In that context, I'm not surprised to see that Nikki Haley is asking for more security. When the Washington Post looked into the problem, they found people running for Congress increased their spending on security by over 500% between the time Trump lost in 2020 and last November's midterms. The Brennan Center for Justice questioned over 1,700 state and local elected officials, all 50 states, and found that fully 40% reported to be threatened or physically attacked in the 3 years since Donald Trump lost. 90% said that they had been harassed, intimidated, or stalked. And 1 in 10 state legislators reported that a person with a weapon had tried to intimidate them on more than one occasion. Fascist Republicans are apparently getting what they want out of these intimidation tactics. 1 in 5 state officials and almost half of local elected officials report that because the threats their less willing to involve themselves in ways with controversial issues like abortion, immigration, or gun control. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the gist of this, right? We get the gist of this. This is an example of what Donald Trump is doing to this country, right? There was a convoy of, what do they call themselves? God's army that made its way to the southern border, echoing Adolf's rhetoric, right? All right. That attacked dark-skinned immigrants, all right, talking about poisoning the blood of the country to replace white men in the workplace and in the bedroom, right? This is MAGA. Ladies and gentlemen, when we tell you that you're misogynist and we tell you that you're bigots and we tell you that you're racist, this is why. The facts, the data, the statistics are on our side to prove it, right? And so now that the cat's out of the bag officially in the kingdom, right? The data is here. We're not going to have to debate who the bigots and the racists and the misogynists are anymore. It's crystal clear. It's MAGA, right? So guess what we're going to do this morning, ladies and gentlemen, bright and early. Well, I'm glad that you asked. Join me, your host, your pilot, all right? And please get those boos and those shames and those tomatoes out and get the blueberries out, ladies. You know, because there's some guys in here that brag about their pickup trucks, right? Join me in giving Donald Trump and his evil, corrupt, deranged supporters what they truly deserve. Our first honorable round of booze and shame. Let's give it to them.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
There's people in here that they're getting upset and they're getting offended with the way that I speak and the information that I'm sharing out. Well, let me remind you again, MAGA.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Bingo! Nothing would make America great again, if that's possible, than for us to start deporting all MAGA, all of you who have that MAGA demon inside of you. You know how this goes, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Speaking of topics that are of interest, I don't know if you are all familiar, but this is getting a little out of hand. All right, and this has to do with the dirt on Joe Biden that we've been begging, you Trump supporters to show us all the dirt that you have on Joe Biden, right? And get this, the dirt they had on Joe Biden, it seems, came directly from Russia. Right? It did.
The agency about President Joe Biden and his son Hunter during the 2020 presidential campaign. At a detention hearing in federal court in Las Vegas yesterday, prosecutors revealed in a filing that some of the false information Alexander Smirnov fed to the FBI, including a story about Hunter Biden, came from officials associated with Russian intelligence. What's more, prosecutors allege the 43-year-old is, quote, actively peddling new lies that could impact U.S. elections after meeting with Russian intelligence officials in November. Despite those revelations, the judge found the government failed to make its case that Smirnov should be detained until trial and ordered him released under conditions that include GPS monitoring. Smirnov.
So, you heard it. This individual, Smirnov, which we all knew because I've been telling you folks, the information that was used to kick this off came from no other than Rudy Colludi, Dirty and the you-know-what Giuliani, right? The little FD 1033 form. Remember that, Snuggles? Remember that, you Russian bears? Remember I was telling you all the information about election interference came from Rudy Giuliani. Where did he get it from? Russia. All the information about President Biden and his son being corrupt and getting money from Ukraine. Where did that information come from? Rudy Giuliani. Where did he get it from? Russia. And now, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. You can't make this stuff up. As far as we're concerned, this is a criminal lie, and it is the obituary for the GOP's Biden impeachment. That's what it is. All right. And so what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, get the booze and shame. All right. Get those together. But I'll read this to you. Obviously, there's a case that'll play out here according to sources. But based on the indictment and filing, it lays bare how unscrupulous the entire GOP and their enablers in right-wing media have become. Republicans in Congress ought to be facing this crushing burden of massive scandal in their own making right now. An impeachment based on what might be Russian intelligence operation. If nothing else, a criminal lie based on the indictment. Now that we know, ladies and gentlemen, that the folks, Mike Johnson and all the MAGA Republicans, now that the cat's out of the bag, that these folks are doing Vladimir Putin's dirty work, it is time for us American people to get them out of office as soon as possible. We got to vote these folks out, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And I get why. The aid is being stalled in Congress right now. Because for Mike Johnson, that would be a direct violation against Vladimir Putin's orders. I get it. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Because these folks are traitors, right? Like, these folks are traitors. Like the title says, you can give them anything and they will believe it. Join me in giving Mike Johnson, Jim Jordan, James Comer, who else? Marjorie Trader Green, Matt Gaetz, all right, Kevin McCarthy. He's not there, but we're going to give it to him. These are all Russian operatives, as well as all of the Trump supporters, especially the ones in this live today. Join me in giving them what they deserve. Another round of booze and shame. Get them out of here. I mean, it's sad, ladies and gentlemen. Just, what makes it sad? Because I often think to myself, like, at one point, these were children, right? A lot of these folks, they grew up, I'm assuming, in the United States. And I just can't help but wonder, what point did it go from, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, right? At what point did it go from that to just all out worshiping Vladimir Putin? When? I must have missed the memo. Did I miss something? Sheesh. But I know I know what contributed to it. I do. And I'll tell you, it was that silly show. You all remember it. It was that silly show called The Apprentice, right? It was that silly show called The Apprentice, where I believe it was that was pretty much the equivalent of an ISIS video, right? What that show did to the minds of these these supporters, what that show did to the minds of these Trump supporters, especially the men. I don't know what he must have sprinkled some. Trump must have sprinkled some fentanyl in that show, right? He must have sprinkled some fentanyl in it. That's the image of success. This is what the Trump supporters do when they watch The Apprentice. There, dear, please, dear, give me one of those Budweisers, okay? Give me a Budweiser, and then, let's go ahead and put on that Apprentice show, because nothing makes me happier, nothing gets me more excited than to see Donald Trump invite everybody in his room and say, hey, how many steaks did you sell? How many steaks did you sell, Snuggles? Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump, you know me. I'm your best. Snuggles, how many steaks did you sell? I only sold 2, Donald Trump. Well, guess what, Snuggles? Are you looking, Jay Bear? Are you looking, Stacy Bear? Snuggles, you're fired. Right? That's it. That's it right there. That's my guy. I love me some Donald Trump. You guys are sick. That's not how it works in the real world, and you know it. You know there's nowhere on the planet that goes down, but in your minds, that's something, all right? Mr. Nice Guy, you too, you've been radicalized, I can tell, all right? But you know what? All you can do, For all of you who are in here upset with the message that I'm sharing, do me a huge favor, right? Don't type nothing else in the chat. Don't type nothing else in the chat. Sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast. You just might learn something. Free education. This is free. I should be charging you, but this is free. All right, let's move it along. All right, it's about to blow up. GOP lawmakers report rumored government shutdown. All right. A full-blown government shutdown may be coming if reported rumors circulating among top Republican lawmakers are true. In the power centers among the House of Representatives, there's chatter about a temporary stoppage of funding that could throw a wrench in the federal budget. People are predicting a shutdown. One GOP lawmaker confided to the news outlet, even if it's just for a few days, all right? And this is based on swirling rumors that came months after Congress fended off a similar threat of a government shutdown, passing a bill with 87 through 11 total to back a temporary funding package. But that only kicked the budget crisis down the road. If a budget deal isn't hashed out soon, it will trigger spending cuts of 1% across the board. This week, Mike Johnson tried to assuage concerns about the nearing date of April 30th. Quote, "We think we're going to meet the deadline," Johnson said last week before lawmakers went on break. He then said they will return and will move forward with a robust appropriations process, working under the $1.66 trillion agreement that was achieved alongside Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. The lower chamber is not scheduled to return until February 28th, ladies and gentlemen, before the federal government could enter a partial shutdown on March 1st. All right, so guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Because this is another sign that Vladimir Putin's Congress, the MAGA Republicans, thank you, Valerie. This is another sign that they're going to do everything they can to cause harm to the United States, right? They don't want to close the borders, right? These folks don't want to close the borders. They don't want to send the aid to Ukraine. They don't want to do that, and they don't even want to fund the government. Right now, nothing would make Donald Trump and his followers happier than to shut this entire country down to make their leader happy. So guess what we're going to do? Once again, we've proven they're not patriots, they're traitors. Join me in giving Donald Trump, Mike Johnson, and all the Trump supporters in the United States what they deserve. Another round of boos and shame.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
Silence, you MAGA demons. I'm not losing any sleep over you Trump supporters. You know that? I sleep real good at night knowing that I got one of you. I got one of you to wrap it up, hang it up, and delete your accounts on TikTok. That's what I do. I shut them. They unfollow me. I don't care. You don't need to send me a message if you unfollow me. I get it. But guess what you're going to end up doing? You're going to be at home alone, crying in a mirror somewhere, going, why don't they want to be with me? He's talking about his friends, their so-called followers on TikTok. It's because you're a liar. We see right through you. You're far from being Christians. They really are, right? Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. We shut them down. Lies and misinformation aren't tolerated on this platform. Absolutely not. All right. Thank you, Coco Nurse, for the lies and misinformation will not be tolerated. All right. And that's non-negotiable. And they're wisening up right now. Now when they come in my box and I ask them, hey, you want to, I got those 3 questions. Well, who was responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th? Oh, you know what they do now? They go like this. They zip it. I'm not going to lure. You're not going to trick me, Zeus. You're not going to get me this time, Zeus. Okay, we'll see. Don't. You ever watch those animals on National Geographic, the Discovery Channel? I'm like one of those animals. I'm very patient. I go wait, and you slip up just once, and I got your behind. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you Trump supporters to get in this box and start lying. I'm waiting for you to do it. All right. It makes my day knowing you losing your accounts. It really does. They get up here and they be yelling and huffing and puffing. You know, like that one guy that got up in the box yesterday, right? Huffing and puffing, but he was smart. Did you see him? He said what he had to say, and he dropped himself because he knew what was coming. These folks know they can't get on the. They know they can't tell the truth. They know they can't. All right, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Nice Guy. You said I snitch on him. What's it to you? What's it to you? Snitch here, snitch there. I mean, what's it to you, Mr. Nice Guy? Look at this guy right here. This is the biggest snitch of them all. Snitching every day on President Biden. Snitching every day on Barack Obama. Barack Obama tapped my wires. What? We got a snitch and cut it out, Mr. Nice Guy. And this is your hero? Cut it out. And that's typical MAGA behavior. They like to portray themselves as victims, right? All right, conspiring to corrupt. Legal experts unpack the seriousness of Donald Trump's hush money. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page going into this trial. On Monday, March 25th, jury selection will begin in the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's criminal case against former President Donald Trump. Who's Bragg? Who Bragg alleges falsified business records when hush money payments were made to adult film star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign. This is the real election interference, ladies and gentlemen. Bragg's prosecution in media reports is often described as a hush money case, but in a recent op-ed published by the New York Times on February 20th, 3 legal experts went on to say there are some reasons why the seriousness of Bragg's case goes beyond hush money payments. The charges brought by Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney, have been overshadowed by the 3 other criminal prosecutions of Mr. Trump. But the 34 felony count constitute a strong case of what? Election interference. All right. And fraud in the place where Mr. Trump lived and conducted business for decades. The salaciousness of the details in Mr. Trump's case obscure what is actually about. Making covert payments to avoid losing an election and then further concealing it. Indeed, this is how Mr. Bragg has described the case. That is about conspiring to corrupt a presidential election and then lying in New York business records to cover it up. Let me say that again to you traitors. This is about Donald Trump conspiring to corrupt a presidential election. And then lying in New York business records to cover it up. So let me get this straight. He cheats on his wife and then he cheats on the country. This is truly sickening, ladies and gentlemen. And they think he deserves a second chance in the White House? Absolutely not. You're crying. That's too much. That's too much right there. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Since his supporters they don't have the courage to do it. They don't have the courage to tell Donald Trump, you know what? That's a bridge too far, chap. You've crossed a nasty line by doing that. So since his supporters can't do it, we're going to do it for him, all right? Join me in giving Donald Trump another round of booze and shame, right? It's clear Donald Trump has no shame, right? He does. When you go low, Donald Trump will go 10 times lower, all right? He doesn't care, all right? And so because he doesn't care and we have to give him shame, join me in giving this cheating election interferencing individual what he deserved. Another round of booze and shame. All right. Now listen up. Should we play MAGA or not? Ladies and gentlemen? I got a bit of a story that I ran across. It's an interesting story. It could, I think this one could go either way. Should we play MAGA or not? All right. And you know the rules. Put a 1 in the chat. All right. Now I don't think this is a real picture of this couple. All right, or this situation, but. Don't let the picture throw you off. All right. Listen to the content. All right. You know the rules. Put a 1 in the chat if you think this is MAGA, or put a 2 if you think it's other. All right? Last night, his fiance's little sister tried to sleep with him, then started crying when he turned her down. All right? Now let's go. This 25-year-old man is engaged, and his fiance's 18-year-old sister recently moved into their home. This happened after his fiance's dad passed away, and his fiance's little sister did not want to live with her stepmom after that, as his fiance's little sister doesn't have a good relationship with her. His fiance's dad really kept the peace inside the family home, so with him gone, there was nowhere else for his fiance's little sister to go except their house. Ever since his fiance's little sister moved in with them, he stepped up to be like a dad to her, and she's clearly needed that. But while he had nothing but pure and innocent intentions with her, she clearly hasn't been feeling the same way. Yesterday evening, while his fiance was not at home and it was just him and his fiance's little sister, something shocking happened. Last night, she tried to sleep with me by telling me that she likes me a lot and asking whether I wanted to be with her in her room, he explained. He straight up asked his fiance's little sister what she meant by that, by asking if he would like to be with her in the room with her, and she said to him that she wanted to sleep with him. He instantly shut her down and said no, and as soon as he rejected her, she immediately showed remorse. You know, what are we going to call this one, ladies and gentlemen? MAGA or not? Because, you know, the thing that went off in my mind is I definitely don't suspect this is the first time this happened, right? This seems like some nasty place in the middle of America, right? Is this MAGA? All right. The overwhelming number of people who've responded, right? Put a 1 in the chat. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you think this is MAGA, or put a 2 if you think it's other. All right, and you know how this goes. You know okay? It's crystal clear. It's all 1. This is what I'm saying. Disgusting. MAGA behavior. Sleeping with your brother, sleeping with your sister. This kind of nonsense, all right? This wasn't her first rodeo. Not if you ask me. Oh, no, this is indicative of what's been going on with her father, perhaps, right? So guess what we're going to do? Join me in giving these nasty MAGA demons, sleeping with their own kind, worse than animals, what they deserve. Another round of booze and shame. This is sick. All right. It's sad that we have to have these tough conversations, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. All right, let's get back to some politics, all right? And then we'll open up those boxes. You know how we do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to some politics. This is a bit of a PSA announcement, all right? Mike Quigley, Jim Costa, all right? This is coming from Marcy Kaptur. And they issued a joint statement calling on Speaker Michael Johnson to call the House of Representatives back into session to vote on critical aid for Ukraine. And I'm going to make sure I get this out here because I know there's folks out here who are in powerful places and they might be able to help make it happen. All right. Mr. Speaker, the fight for liberty in Ukraine's war against Vladimir Putin's brutal invasion has reached a critical point due to a lack of ammunition on the front lines. Do not abandon liberty's call in Ukraine. Allow members of this House to vote on pending legislation for Ukraine, which you singularly hold the power to advance to the floor. On behalf of Ukraine's valiant freedom fighters and its 40 million courageous people who have long suffered at the hands of tyranny, we implore you to call the House back into session. History will fiercely judge the United States of America and the U.S. House of Representatives under your speakership for its inaction in defense of freedom on our watch. In the last century, over 500,000 U.S. soldiers sacrificed their lives on the continent of Europe so succeeding generations could enjoy the blessings of liberty. Do not abandon liberty now. Bring this legislation to the floor and allow the House to come together in the protection of democracy. And we mean it, Mike Johnson. Do your job. MAGA does need to move to Russia, right? So, with this being said, and we know this message is most likely going to fall on deaf ears, we must do it again. Join me once again in giving Mike Johnson what he deserves. Another round of booze and shame. Because listen, what we got is more proof that every second he continues to not do his job is a second he's working for Vladimir Putin. So let's give him some booze and shame.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
All right, we're almost to the point where we open up those boxes, but there's a couple of more topics, ladies and gentlemen, and you know exactly what it is. Inside the neo-Nazi hate network, grooming children for a race war. See, all kidding aside, ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe that the Civil War, the second Civil War that MAGA has been begging for, they're practicing for it. What you saw on January 6th, that was just practice for them, all right? So this is a very lengthy piece. I encourage all of you to go read it yourselves, but I'll try to cover a couple of the salient points, and then, we'll wrap this monologue up this morning, all right? Two rabbis sat down for dinner at a Chabad Jewish center in Pensacola, Florida. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. The air on this July evening was warm and tranquil. A sense of peace filled the kitchen where the men shared their meal. Suddenly, something crashed through the window, sending glass flying. The rabbis rushed over to investigate. Scrawled on the brick that lay there on the floor, a swastika and the words, "No Jews." Within days, local police arrested 4 white teenagers and collectively charged them with 18 felonies, not only in connection to the brick throwing incident, but also for bigoted attack on 2 area synagogues, a mosque, and a Masonic lodge. The group reputed ringleader, a 17-year-old Waylon Fowler, initially denied responsibility, but he later admitted to an Escambia County Sheriff's deputy that he threw the brick. Fowler is also accused of throwing another brick marked with the swastika SS symbol and the words "Death to the K word" through the bathroom window at the Temple Beth El. That could have been the end of Fowler's hate-filled story, the saga of a misguided boy and his friends who caught red-handed vowed to right their ways. Instead, the boys began to take an even darker path. In their vision for America includes a revolution leading to the collapse of the United States and a race war that drives black people, Jews, and the LGBTQ plus people out of future whites only homelands. I'm going to take a second right here to stop and say this. To my friends out here, all right, the ones that brand themselves as leftists, you have a serious decision on your hands to make. You do. I get that you are disappointed in President Biden. I totally understand that. Like, I get it, because I'm one of these people that know no human being on this planet is perfect. I do know that. But I guess my question is this. What's worse? I mean, I hate to say it like this. Joe Biden or a president that promotes people that do this, all right? Who they want to lead a revolution that will lead to the collapse of the United States. They want to start a race war that drives black people, Jews, and people in the LGBTQI plus community out so that it will be a whites only country. You got to make a decision. You really do. You really got to think about that. All right. Now let's move it on. It's a vision that has attracted young neo-Nazis across the country. All right. 4 months of investigation into the 2119 Blood and Soil Crew, a nationwide network of teenage Nazis. Their investigations revealed that Fowler now ranks amongst the leaders of the network. In recent months, 2119 members have waged a campaign of targeted terror aimed at Jews, African Americans, LGBTQ+, people, and leftists. Yeah, they're attacking leftists. Their targets include Florida, North Carolina, New Hampshire, Texas, California. In mid-November, 2119's official Telegram channel suggested that the group had expanded to 21 states. See, Snuggles, when you start crying about crime going on in inner cities, I laugh. I really do, because the crime going on in the inner cities is nothing compared to your terrorist groups that you're affiliated with. Snuggles, Jay Bear, Stacy Bear. You know it. They're expanding their network. The 2119 gangs rise as a clandestine network of teenagers who promote and carry out acts of anti-Semitic and racist violence. Hasn't been organic. The group has undertaken a concerted marketing strategy of recruiting children. Remember how they like to say they protect the kids? These folks, they don't protect the kids. By appealing to their interests, such as online gaming and skateboarding. Nazi youth associated with 2119 are now under investigation by the FBI. All right, the FBI is also actively assisting local police departments as law enforcement pursues crimes committed by the group's names. But this legal danger has only emboldened the teens. They've indicated even bigger plans for sowing hate and fear across this country, and they're recruiting more and more disaffected children for their cause. The group's activity comes at a moment when social tension throughout America builds by the day. So let me go ahead and jump forward, all right? And I say this to all my leftist friends out there who keep hanging out with these traitors, all right? You gotta, listen, I'm not gonna stop you, like, I get it. But I want you to understand what they really are doing, okay? You gotta understand, all right? So we got the racist and anti-Semitic intimidation going on, and impatience with standard issue MAGA activism. I'll go here. When voters elected Donald Trump president in 2016, most of the 2119's members were in elementary school, but they came of age during a time when Trump, as candidate and president, demonized Muslims, attacked transgender Americans, and generally shattered democratic norms. They watched many Republicans cheer the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol and jeer subsequent congressional inquiries and criminal trials. And they have seen multitudes of conservatives, from community agitators to federal lawmakers, fully commit to culture war attacks on the LGBTQ plus people, Black history, and even library books. Raised on the internet, violence, racism, and homophobia, the children who gravitated to the 2119 helped build their own unique communion of hate. They could be as extreme and unmoored as they please. They operated freely from adult-led, optic-conscious white power groups such as Patriot Fronts or extreme MAGA movement organizations around the Trump cult. Patriot Front, for one, failed to make any change in a matter of 6 years. Ollie Good complained on Telegram in December. He dismissed Patriot Front's activism as indistinguishable from MAGA, adding that he encountered the group's members as Trump at a Trump rally and that he wasn't impressed. Now in 2024, Trump is once again all but guaranteed to become the Republicans' presidential nominee. But for the 2119 members, it's not enough to be MAGA. It's not enough to support Donald Trump. The 2119 children aspire to be something beyond Trump. For them, it's about activism that spreads fear, if not outright violence. Now I'm going to put a pin in it right there, ladies and gentlemen, because I think you get the drift, right? Donald Trump has planted the seeds in the minds of a generation of nasty kids that are hell-bent on using violence to try to make America a white-only country. And this is why we do what we do out here, ladies and gentlemen. We got to shut it down. Now, these folks, we all know they don't outnumber the majority of us. But the fact of the matter is they feel comfortable being evil, and that's a problem. So guess what we're going to do? Since their parents won't do it because they're probably radicalized too. Donald Trump won't do it because he's just as corrupt. Join me in giving these folks what they deserve. These Trump-supporting, nasty individuals. Another round of boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
Silence, you MAGA demons. Remember, I see all of you. That's how I know what I know. And you can't take that from me. As much as I know it bothers you. It does. How can Zeus, this guy, as handsome as he is, how can Zeus be out here and telling all our business like this? Oh, well, that's for me to know and for you to find out. All I know is one thing is for sure. You do not represent this country with your heinous acts of violence. And I know this, you will pay. You will. All right. Now let's move on to the final part of the monologue, ladies and gentlemen, where we cover what happens to these 2119 teenagers when they become adults, right? Should we go on there? All right. Well, what do you do after you've spent your whole life, being a domestic terrorist, starting from when you were a teenager? Well, you know what? You join the MAGA cult and you assault our Capitol on January 6th. All right? So let's go ahead and get there, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who aren't familiar with what I'm doing, all right, let me get you kind of in the setting. They want a civil war. Donald Trump and his supporters, they want a civil war. Thank you for the subscription. They want a civil war. And it's crystal clear that they are now actively involved in a civil war like, all right, resistance, all right? It's all right. And Donald Trump is the modern day Jefferson Davis, all right? His compound out there, Mar-a-Lago, all right? Who are his soldiers? Well, it's MAGA. They put on their uniforms every day, right? They put their red hats on. They put on their Trump gear. They get their trucks and stuff. They deck it out in Trump paraphernalia, right? And they're armed. These are his soldiers. So what did he do? Well, he did like this. Right. On January 6th. He goes onto his social media platform. I need all of you, boots on the ground, to show up at the Capitol at a rally that I am hosting called Stop the Steal. And before you get here, bring all that you have, empty out your bank accounts, send the money to me. But I need you right now. And what did his soldiers do? They packed themselves in the back of U-Hauls, right? With those khakis on, they put their mask on. It was during the pandemic, which was bizarre because, they were always crying, you can't force me to put a mask on. But they put that mask on for their general that day on January 6th, right? So they go down to the Capitol on January 6th, right? And there they met their leader at the ellipse. And what did he do? What did he do when he got his soldiers right in front of him? Well, he encouraged them to attack the Capitol.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
Right. So his soldiers decided that they were going to go meet their general at the United States Capitol. But they had a mission. Stop Mike Pence from certifying the result of the 2020 election that President Biden won. They brought weapons, they brought gallows, and there was an interesting point that I still can't wrap my mind around. I'm still looking into it. But according to what I've seen, they ran across an individual named Ray Epps. And They said Ray Epps was the feds. They said feds, 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 which to me meant a light bulb should have went off and said, well, darn it, the cops are here. I shouldn't break the law, right? If you know the cops are there, don't rob the bank in front of them. But they committed the crime right there in front of the police, according to them. And they began to do something we all witnessed on national television. They began to attack the United States Capitol. This is what they were calling the Stop the Steal rally. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause right there. And we're going to zoom in and talk about one of the stories that happened with one of Donald Trump's soldiers that day. All right? That's why I covered January 6th. I'm telling you the story from what Donald Trump's soldiers did when they attacked this country. These are traitors. They don't deserve any level of respect. And they really, if it was up to me, I'd put them in a spaceship and send them to the edge of the universe. Mars is too close. I used to want to send them to Mars. At this point, just send them as far as the little spaceship can go. I could care less. A 7th Arkansas man has been arrested in connection with the January 6, 2021 riot at the nation's capital. Online records show a federal arrest warrant was served to Daniel Hactor in Little Rock on February 13th. Look at this traitor. The District of Columbia warrant shows Hatcher is facing charges of entering or remaining in a restricted buildings, disorderly or disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building or grounds, and parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. Court records in the case against Hactor include an FBI investigation into Hactor's actions on January 6th. According to the reports, Hactor is seen on closed-circuit television entering the Capitol on January 6th after attending a nearby rally for then-President Donald Trump. Investigators said Hactor attended the rally and entered the building alongside 2 other men, Texas brothers Nathan Mackey and Brandon Mackey, who court records show have also been charged. Look at these traitors. Look at these traitors. The report also includes Hactor told investigator he was friends with the Mackeys as his hunting buddies. Included in the report is CC television footage appearing to show Hactor climbing the walls of the Capitol. What does this look like right here? Look at this. How do you climb walls all of a sudden? One minute you're sitting at home collecting disability. I can't work. My back hurts. I need a backiotomy. And then we see you on camera climbing you're a bunch of liars and you're grifters. All right. So he's climbing the wall, climbing back down and entering the Capitol terrace through nearby stairs. According to investigators' report, Hactor admitted to all of this in an interview with FBI agents at his attorney's office. All right. Additional stills from the CCTV footage in the report appear to show Hactor alongside Mackey entering the Capitol building through broken windows. Court records show Hactor told FBI agents in an interview that he had entered through the door. All right. Look at these folks. All right. Additional footage in the investigators' report appear to show him posing before a line of police officers inside the Capitol building while Brandon Mackey took his picture. Hactor also admitted during the January 15 interview. The reports state that Hactor told investigators he and the Mackeys left the building shortly after taking the pictures, all right? The FBI agent who prepared the report said Hactor's identification and the identification of Mackey came through a comparison of security footage against social media photos and driver's license photos. The agents who prepared the report stated the 3 came to law enforcement's attention from tips to the agency. All right. Look at this right here. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. A traitor. This is the traitor right here. This is Vladimir Putin's assets. These are Donald Trump's foot soldiers. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? You know what we got to do. Join me in giving the 7th Arkansas man to be arrested, Daniel Hactor, right here, ladies and gentlemen. Join me in giving him what he deserves. Another round of boos and shame.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
And because he's been arrested, you know what we got to do? Let's send him off the old-fashioned way.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You hear that? That was your leader after he led you to the Capitol. Keep in mind, he never showed up. How can anyone believe me? Easy, because I'm telling the truth. You wouldn't know what that is. All right, that's how they believe me. Your general, Donald Trump, right? The modern day Jefferson Davis, the leader of the new Confederate army of out-of-shape Trump supporters, led you to the Capitol. He said, we're going to go to the Capitol, and I'll be right there with you. Remember? And think about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the most interesting thing about all of this situation, right? These folks are clearly in a cult. I know they're in a cult because they listen to a man that wakes up every day and it's, you know, in the army, you put on your helmet, but he puts on a bird's nest, right? Because he's their general. He puts a bird's nest on his head, right? And instead of painting the camouflage, he paints himself orange. I don't know what he's trying to blend in with. Puts on a diaper, all right? And then he gets onto his social media platform and issues orders. Be here now. Jump. How high, sir? This is what he does. And his supporters, like some mindless zombies, they listen to him. This man is sitting here with 91 felony charges, and his supporters are still sending him money. This, I gotta give it to him. All right. And the funny thing about it is, after all of that, he gets on national television and tells them to their face, you do not represent this country with these heinous acts of violence. All right. He said this about you. All right. He said, you will pay. He said that about you. And then he also said he immediately summoned the National Guard, which means there's no room for you to insert that lie that somehow Nancy Pelosi could have done it. He admitted it was him who sicked the dogs on you. And yet and still, you will all believe this man and send him all you have. I've never seen anything like it, but that's why I've been saying what I've been saying. Something's wrong with your minds. You are disgusting and you are disturbing individuals, to be quite honest. And like I said, if you're offended by what I'm saying, you must not have heard what I said at the top of the show.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
If you're not happy in the United States right now, do what your leader said. Leave. It's really time to deport MAGA. It really is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the monologue. It's now time to open up the boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil. As I like to say, shame the MAGA demon. All right. You know what we got. You know how this goes. You get 3 minutes to say whatever you feel needs to be said. All right. No cursing. If you do, you will be dropped. And listen up. If you're a Trump supporter, and you don't want to lose your account, when I ask you those tough questions, right, and you know what those tough questions are, just plead the fifth, all right? Because TikTok is not playing. They are really making it a point to stop the spread of lies and misinformation, all right? Where is it at, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my God. They're making it a point to stop the spread of lies and misinformation, and we're having a little bit of a glitch over here, but don't worry, I got it all under control. Let's see, where is it at? Oh my goodness, here we go, right there. All right, the boxes are open. You get 3 minutes, and again, like I said, don't be getting up here lying and spreading misinformation. I really do try to hear people out. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ, what's with all of this? Oh my gosh, what's with all this glitching today? I can't hit the box for some strange reason. Oh my gosh, it won't let me open up the guest box. Hold on. All right, that works. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, I must have broke. There's too much truth flowing out this morning, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. All right, it must be too much truth. All righty then. All right, let's go. All right, good morning. How are you doing, my good friend? Goodness gracious, this app is tripping. Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm living the dream one day at a time.
That's all we can do,
Let's
right?
put it like that. But
That's all.
Zeus, listen, I'm not going to even need 3 minutes. I want to say three things.
Okay, go for it.
First of all, I hope Sister Takesha is in here. I want to thank her for yesterday. I'm not going to talk any further than that, other than
Okay.
thank Sister Takesha for yesterday.
All right, thank you, Takesha.
Number two, I don't know where the hell you got it from,
What's that?
but when you was talking about the dude crawling up the wall
Oh,
and he's sitting at home on disability talking about he needs a bacchiotomy,
yeah. You're right. That's how they get their money. They're a bunch of scammers.
I'm sitting, man, almost just look. It was bacchiotomy that did it for me. I couldn't listen to the rest of the story. I almost fell off my treadmill when you said bacchiotomy.
Oh man, well,
I was like, what the hell did he just say? Wait a minute, bacchiotomy? What is that?
they be making up stuff like that. They don't know what they got going on. They just say that they got problems.
Oh, I know. They all like Ezel from Friday. My neck and my back.
Yep,
But
exactly.
I settle out of court right now for a 40 ounce. That's
You know it. Tell them swear.
my brother say a bacchiotomy. They need a brainiotomy.
Yeah, man.
I'm guessing a psychologicalotomy. Like just strip out everything and start
Yeah.
over from scratch. You know what? Just make them bionic people, just not with its strong components. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
But I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. It was the bacchiotomy that did it for me. I almost fell off my treadmill when you said that.
Well, I'm glad you didn't fall. Okay, that would.
No, I didn't fall. I didn't fall. I just like, wait, what the hell did he just say? A bacchiotomy? What the hell?
Yeah. They be sitting at home collecting the check from the government,
Oh,
and then get out here and act like it's black folks that are doing that, right? That's
yeah,
a little
yeah,
game
yeah.
they like to play.
We the problem.
Yeah, they
It's-
don't want
it's
to.
black-
They don't want. Yeah, because that's if black folk use it, then they can't get. They think it's taking away their ability to get more money.
Uh-huh. Zeus is like I've always said, equal rights for all does not mean less rights for some.
Bingo,
It just doesn't. But
bingo.
okay, so here's the third and final thing I wanted to say. As I listen to your show and I'm listening to some of the other shows and things like that, I know you bring nothing but factual information, nothing but the truth.
Amen.
It was great having Pam up yesterday.
Yeah.
The day before Pam, you had Lex Lucchese up, and I had never heard of him before, and I went and looked at some of his content and stuff like that, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know the brother a little bit more. So
Yeah.
thank you for bringing those two, what I would consider influential people up.
All right.
It definitely helped out a bit. Okay, so
Yeah.
I am off to the wonderful VA.
Oh,
I like to
okay.
call it the Victor Alpha.
Okay. All right. Well,
Uh,
stay
got a
safe out there.
got a couple of CAT scans, MRI, and compression sock measurements. So y'all be
Oh,
good.
all right.
Y'all be safe.
All right. You too,
And
my brother.
doggone it, have fun while you're doing it.
All right. All
I'll
right.
see you
Well,
later, everyone.
All right. Well, thank you for having the courage and conviction to be able to get in the box and tell the truth, my brother. And good luck
Always,
at the
brother.
doctor. All right.
Always. I'll
All
see
right,
you later.
ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Swerve and No Lies Detected. All right. All right. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we're all equally committed. And yes, Pam, it was a pleasure to have you come in the box and share your story. You're always more than welcome to come back. All right. All right. Good morning, my good friend Lex. Good morning. How are you doing, champ?
What's up, man? How you doing?
All right. Welcome to the show. How you doing, my brother?
So I'm going to need your email because I've got some pretty funny pictures that they did on the January 6th regarding Donkey Kong,
Uh-huh. Oh,
and it's
really?
pretty hilarious. Yeah,
Okay. I'll shoot it to you. All right. Fair
but
enough.
yeah, I told you I was going to shoot you some uh, music. Let's talk about Black excellence today.
Go for it. Go
Okay,
for it,
so
champ.
whenever you see a lot of these people who are in these white supremacist groups and things like that, somewhere along the lines they've fallen short on life, right?
Yep.
So what happens is they see us out here doing stuff and it lands on them like a ton of bricks. So then they wind up, they see you wearing a suit or
Yeah.
driving a certain car or having a certain education or having a certain skill set, and
Absolutely.
and they don't like it
No.
because we're supposed to be an oppressed people, and we still are pretty much, but they're trying to keep it going, and it's
Yep.
not working for them.
Absolutely not.
So
They're it's an insecurity that they got inside of them because right at least I've known that some of them are being trained from when they're children to believe that they're better than folks like you and me, right? Simply because of their race or their gender, right? They're trained to believe this kind of stuff, and it's promoted through a lot of the pop cultures in a way, right?
yep. So with that, I will say, people want to see. Uh, I've got that music I want to send you. I need your email. I was going to do it last night because
Oh,
I want to redo your anthem for your show, and I told you I was going to do it for you for
oh, does
George. But I'm sitting here I'm
you
working
mean
right now.
you want to redo the Zeus song?
Yeah, I'm going to give you some stuff to do so you can talk about content, and I don't want to redo it. I want you to do some new stuff.
Oh, okay, all right. Let's
So,
get the cooking. Well, listen, I'll send you that right after this show, my good friend. You
okay,
know
so
how we do.
I'm going to show you some black excellence.
Okay, let's go.
You familiar with this?
No, keep going. It's wow. 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 where is that from? To be honest,
That's
it seems like classical to me.
here, let me look at the sheet. It's
Very, 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 very.
Oppenheimer. Can you hear the music? But you want to get on some other stuff here? Here, enjoy this right here. I'm not going to hold you up too long or hold your space up, but
No. Listen. We always take time to acknowledge greatness. All right, no matter what form it comes in. All right, you know how we do.
I'm going to play something that I did in fun, and let me pull my mouse down. Remember, what's it? Electric Company, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Oh,
10,
yeah.
11.
Jesus Christ, you're going way back.
Hold on, check this out. This is what I did to it.
Hey! 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 Wow. Hey man, go ahead and send that on over to Zeus, man. You know, let me fly like an eagle with that, all right?
Okay, I got you on that. You just shoot me your email. I'm gonna send you over 4 or 5 tracks.
All right. Wow, you heard him here, ladies and gentlemen. You see what we about to do? We about to start cooking. You never know what's going to... All right. Well, listen, you never know what's going to happen on this show, right? It's starting to turn into that. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you know something, in the climate that we're in right now, I came on TikTok because I listened to people's conversations, and I would literally write music to what their conversations, you know, or the pain that they're expressing, or the oppression, or the all this hatred and all this stuff that's going on right now. I'll sit, listen to them, and I'll literally compose music around it.
Wow.
And
real genius.
what we need to do now is the racism. The only way that it's going to get better is not for us we can't fix it.
Right.
It's not for us to fix. It's them. We can't be racist. Racism is a social construct. You know that. And throughout history, it has been used to keep us marginalized and in our diaspora forever.
Absolutely. You're right. You're right. But you know, we can continue to bring awareness and do what we're doing, right? And, you know, I think it's awesome that, you know, that you got those talents, right? Because I do think that in a way helps to tackle the issue as well. You know, when we were able to showcase our excellence through whatever gifts we've been blessed with.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for us to literally, you have to, I want people to become more educated. And if you notice, the more education someone has, the more likely they're not to be in MAGA. MAGA went after the people who are easy to get to commit to being just it's rampant stupidity, brainwashing, and a whole lot of other stuff.
Yeah, they lack critical thinking. You know, when you have an education, you tend to be forced to come out of your comfort zone when it comes to thinking critically, right? And after a while, you get used to the fact, like, okay, yeah. Every thought that comes through my head, I probably shouldn't just go along with it, right? Because you're aware that there's all these other ways of looking at life, looking at a situation, and you don't want to get it wrong, right? At least that's how I am, right?
And I'll say this again before I go. When the hell did Donald Trump ever play basketball?
Well, according to my research, he hasn't. But if you're into that QAnon stuff, he's played every sport and some, right? He's been a wrestler. He's been a weightlifter. He's been in the army. I mean, they believe he's done it all.
Yeah, he looks like he's played basketball in the past, right? he looks like he used to be a basketball. He looks like he eats basketball.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And they got him on flags with a 6-pack like Rambo.
Yeah.
And the tattoo,
I don't know where I honestly I can't vouch for him, but as far as I'm concerned, it's my job to make sure these Trump supporters we hold a mirror up to them and show them who their leader is as well, right?
But it looks like he's been drinking Coca-Cola and eating Pop Rocks.
Nasty, nasty, nasty.
All
Oh
right,
my
bro.
god! All right, man.
Email.
I'll
I
shoot
need
you
the
the email.
email.
All right, all right, and keep up the good work. All right, please keep coming to the show and blessing us with your presence and your excellence. All right,
All
I
right, we're gonna
appreciate
get
it.
it in, bro.
All right, for sure. All right, ladies and
All right.
gentlemen, let's give Lex a round of applause. No lies detected. No lies detected. All right, see, they hate us because they ain't us. That's what it is.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. All right, let's move on and bring on our next panelists. Who do we have next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we have next? Let's see. Okay. Yo, baby daddy, what brings you to the show this morning?
I have two questions for you. Number one, with all the bad things that are said about Trump, why do you think he is the betting favorite to win the election? Why do you
What
think that
bad?
is?
When you say bad things, I have a problem with it. I don't think there's any bad things really being said about Trump.
Okay. Okay.
Is there
Why do
anything
you
bad
think
about him that I haven't heard about?
you bash Trump every
Whoa,
day, right? That's
when?
what you
What?
do. So
Give me
let's just listen.
give
This
me
is
an
what happens. This is
example.
what happens. You get asked a question and you deflect very quickly. Why is Trump the betting favorite? And if you look at polymarket.com, this isn't $20.
But
This is
wait a
50.
second.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
No, you
This
hold
is
on 1 second. I
$59.4
can't. I can't. I
million
can't.
dollars.
I can't get past the first part of your question. When you said I said things about him that are bad, give me a
Oh,
solid
let's just talk about
example.
in general. Let's take you out of it. Let's talk about the media and anybody else.
Okay,
All
okay,
okay.
okay. Let's entertain that. What is one bad thing the media has said about him? Because I want to make sure I understand where
Zeus,
you're.
do you see what's going on? You're asked a very direct question and you cannot answer it.
No,
That's the problem in this room, Zeus.
actually I'm
That's the
asking.
problem. That's the problem, Zeus.
So
You're asked a very direct question. You can't answer. Why is
man,
Trump the betting favorite to win the election,
I don't know
regardless
what.
of what you and the minions in here think?
Okay,
You
so
see,
let
you
me.
see what's going on, Zeus? You see what
I do.
happens?
I see. I gotta explain to you where I'm coming from. All right, because you're not catching on to what I'm saying. All right, I thought you would be able to, but you're not. So let's talk about the bad stuff you're saying that they're saying in the media about Trump. The reason I was asking you about that is
Uh,
because, and listen up, right? I don't think repeating what's actually factually true is bad. You get where I'm
mm-hmm,
coming from?
mm-hmm.
Right. So, like for instance, if President Biden had done something that was wrong and they reported it, I wouldn't say, well, they only report the bad stuff. I would say, you know what? That's something he did.
Okay.
To me, bad things would be people making up stuff about him, and just trying to run his name through the mud about stuff that just has no
You're
no merit to
hilarious, Zeus.
no merit to it.
You're not answering the question. Answer the question.
So what now? So now that we got
Just
that part
just
out of the
one.
way, would you agree with me on that point at least, right? A lot of the stuff that
Absolutely.
a lot
Sure.
of the stuff we talk about on this platform, it's based on something really is going on about
Uh,
this guy,
and
right?
that's fine. And let's
Okay.
just say
Now
everything you say.
polling.
Let's
Now
say
let's talk.
everything you say is correct. You're
Oh,
100% right on everything you say. Let's give it to you, okay?
bingo.
Why is it on polymarket.com? And this isn't $20. This is $59.4 million bet.
Got
Trump
it.
55%, Biden 33% chance of winning.
Because
Why is that?
it's all a scam, right? They know. Listen,
Zeus, last thing. What do you
I
do when
gave it
Trump
to you.
wins? Do you
Listen,
just delete the app, Zeus?
I
Do you
gave you.
delete
Listen,
the app when Trump wins? Because
listen.
I would be so embarrassed to show my face ever again on this platform when Trump wins. You have so
Okay.
many disasters in this broadcast. From Ange, the 79-year-old toddler. Miss Boss Divya can't tell me what 6 plus 4 is. Straight
Oh.
facts doesn't know what 9 times 7 is. Those
Oh,
are all
okay.
facts, Zeus.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Because you know what I say, right? Every MAGA accusation is a MAGA confession. Now, I want to say this. All those people you just named,
Disasters.
no, they're greater than you. And that's the problem.
And which way?
Because they know more, they're more beautiful, they're good natured
I'll
people,
give you that. They're more beautiful.
yeah, well,
100%.
okay, and they don't spread lies just to get people to hang out with them on TikTok.
But what lies? What lies
You
have I
do.
said, Zeus?
That's your
What lies?
whole
What lies?
platform. Your whole platform is built on lies.
Zeus, you're a disaster. You know what I do, Zeus? Is I'd rather sit in a broadcast with opposition. I answer questions. What you do, Zeus, you get nervous.
Oh,
get
you answer
scared.
questions?
When you bring
you want to
opposition
play
up
that
here,
game? You want to play that game?
when you get opposition up here, you don't know how to handle it, Zeus. You're
said
used
you
to a
answer-
Democratic circle jerk. Nothing more, nothing less.
Can you stick to the topic? All right. So let me ask you some questions.
Zeus, I asked you a question and you couldn't answer me.
I answered it.
No, you come on now.
You didn't
Come on
like
now.
my answer. But let me now I got to move on. But since you're in the mood of answering questions, I figured, you know what? Let's try this.
Zeus, answer my question. Why is Donald Trump the betting favorite to beat Joe
I told
Biden?
you.
Why?
It's all
Why
about
is it?
making
It's
money.
a scam. That was your answer. It's a scam.
Yeah.
So you think $59.4 million people betting, you think they're that dumb? You think you think that $59.4 million?
Yes.
You are Zeus. You are
Yes!
so oblivious to everything.
Okay.
Once again, you sit there. You spend 20 minutes bashing J6. Nobody.
Actually, I spend more time. But keep going.
Let me ask you a question, Zeus. Do more Americans care about January 6th or their own
God.
bank account? Answer the question.
Listen.
You can't answer the question, Zeus.
Because I think you're losing it. I didn't know you were going to come on my
more
show and have a
Americans care
MAGA
about
meltdown.
January 6th or their own bank account? Answer the question directly.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Zeus, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
The way you talk in this room, you're going to say January 6th, bro.
Okay. So go on and be about your
answer the
miserable
question.
life.
Do more Americans care about January 6th or their own bank account? Please answer directly.
I'll tell you this. You'll see come November.
You
what we
can't
really care
answer the
about.
question. You can't answer it.
All right, listen.
That is crazy.
I gotta go. But thank you for the chat. All right.
It's always entertaining, Zeus.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That is who we're gonna call a MAGA demon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God! Yeah, I mean, you see what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? These are the fake TikTok hosts out there. They build their whole platforms on spreading lies and misinformation. And when that dries up, you know where they go? They come right here to the kingdom, right? They come right here to the kingdom because it's dry over there. It's real desperate over there because everybody knows we're all doing the same thing. It's not fun when you're grifting each other and lying about the same thing. You got to come over where we keep it A1, right? Like I said, go back to your miserable lives and spread the hate that you've been spreading. It doesn't change a single thing. I do believe a majority of Americans, we definitely care about that J6. Oh, without a doubt. We're not going to let you sweep J6 under the rug. Where do you get this stuff from? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's go. Stick the ruler. Good morning. Oh, my gosh. Slick as Rick. Thank you.
Good morning, Zeus. How you doing?
Hey, another day in the kingdom tending to the affairs. What about you?
Well, I'm just baffled at this guy that just came up, your baby daddy to be. I hope that's not anybody that I know. I hope they don't want that guy's they baby daddy. He sounds like a real deal. I can't get it up, so it's your fault.
Oh, you can't get it up. You gotta get you some Viagra.
Yeah, and it's your fault. He's gonna blame somebody else.
Yeah.
So just running into guys like that, you know what I mean, all over TikTok. Last night I was in a live, or I wasn't really in the live. I was observing, let's say.
Right.
And it was Handsome Liberal by himself against a bunch of MAGA demons. And
well, he knows how to handle himself very well.
He's well, again, He's handsome, so he handsome folks do know how to handle themselves, right?
Bingo.
So what he ended up doing was he would try to tell somebody something, and they would cut him off his first, two sentences because whatever they asked, it made Joe Biden look better than they would like it to be. So they immediately cut him off.
Typical.
And then he sits back, he waits, and he goes, "Okay, can I finish?" Because you guys are just they would just jump in. They were like hyenas. They were just taking bites and bites and bites and laughing and and making little jokes, but it had nothing to do with what happened. So finally, when he gets what he had to say out and or his opinion out, nobody could say anything but the host because nobody had any comebacks. And it was weird to me that the pivot the host took. Because we were talking about the border and Joe Biden and they could have passed the bill on and on and on.
Right.
Then when it was the host's turn, which was I'm assuming a MAGA demon, he goes into, well, in my industry, I'm not making as much as I used to. And it's like, where's the proof? You're just telling me that.
Yeah.
Like now we go from things that we can see, things that we can Google, and things that we can check on to now it's your personal life and you're in your industry. This is why you don't like Joe Biden.
And they love to portray themselves as victims, don't they?
Exactly. And that's the problem. It's too many cuddling and coddling and seditionist traitors out there.
No lies. No lies.
And Trump is the one that is actually cuddling and giving them aid. So
Bingo.
Therefore, once again, he's in a court of opinion, he's guilty.
Yeah.
And it's soon to be in a federal court or a state court, he will be guilty of other charges. Yep. So this is where we're at, MAGA. It is what it is. He's already got to pay out almost $460 million in change, whether it's to Agent Carroll or the banks of New York.
Yep.
So this guy is going down. I'm gonna call all of you again, Captain, because I'm gonna show you respect.
Yep.
Because you wanna go down with the ship. I'm gonna give you the respect and call you Captain. So
tell him
bye. See you later. 2025. You guys will just be an old bad memory. And that's all I have to say about that, Zeus.
All right.
You keep it G in the kingdom.
A1. Will do.
We appreciate you. Do what you do.
All right.
Handle your business.
Keep up the good work too, brother. I appreciate it. All right.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Stick the Ruler. I haven't been playing my music lately because I want to get through as many guests as I can. That's why I haven't. But these are all bad boys. All right. Stick, you a bad boy now.
Appreciate you.
Right,
Appreciate you. I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that, man. Now that's a badge of honor.
Yeah, let's go.
That's a badge of honor.
There you go. One of the bad boys.
Appreciate you. All right, Zeus. You have a good day in the kingdom.
All right, you too. You too. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my friend Stick the Ruler once again, proving that, the Trump supporters, they don't really want to debate. They don't want to talk. They just want to yell at Democrats on TikTok. It's nothing to be alarmed about. And that's because they know the facts are on our side. Right? The facts are on our side. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? We know this. All right. Where's my good friend, the beautiful Shay? Shay, good morning. How are you?
How are you?
I am all right. Just another day in the kingdom tending to the affairs.
Boy, is it. Boy, is it.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you, sitting there listening to Yo Baby Daddy, my brain hurts. That was the most ridiculous. Want to try to get you, right?
He tried.
He tried and he failed miserably. First of all, I love how he came after our wonderful, beautiful black creators on here, women. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went after
and he went after Ange. Yeah, he went after Ange too. It's bad for him to do this. Why attack women?
Right. Why attack women? I thought that was really, really interesting. Not in a good way, by the way. So he's obviously doesn't like strong women and their voices. Doesn't care for that. Wants
very
to
insecure.
Very insecure. Stick to Ruler. Yep. he nailed it on the head. He's one of those who's like, I can't perform in bed, but I'm gonna blame the woman, right? It's
Yep.
totally his MO. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But when he's talking about this betting thing, like, typical Trump supporter doesn't really understand how elections work at all.
Nope.
Like, who cares who's betting on the election? You really think that's the outcome? How what the outcome's going to be? What in the world?
Right. You hear him say, do you really think, Zeus, it's $54 million. Do you really think there's that much money on the line and folks are that dumb?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, folks are that fucking dumb. Dude, like, you had like 500,000 people go to the Capitol because some guy said it was stolen. There's a lot of fucking dumb people in the world. Excuse my French, but I know growl.
Go
You
for it.
growl
Oh,
me,
my.
it's all
Okay.
good.
There you
But,
go. Wait a
you
second.
know-
Where's my growl at? Caught that shit.
But I mean, there are a lot of dumb
Wakanda.
people, and so when people are betting or people are doing this or that doesn't determine the populace and what the American people really want. So yes, he's right. When people vote, are going to think about January 6th? Probably not. A lot of people do think about their pocketbooks and their rights and their security and children's education. There's a lot of myopic people. There's a lot of one subject people that, they vote for one reason alone.
Yeah.
There's a mixture of reasons people show up to the polls. But you focusing on January 6th, that's what you do on here, and it's great.
Yeah.
Because it is a reminder that this wasn't the feds, this wasn't the Democrats, it wasn't BLM, it wasn't Antifa. So every day you're breaking down that narrative by pointing out, here's another one that's going to prison.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why you're doing what you do, right?
Yeah. They are the sole reason why I have to cover January 6th, because I've been in so many we've been into so many conversations with these folks about what happened on January 6th that it just got to a point where it's like, you know what? Let's just make sure we never forget it. Let's make sure they never forget what happened that day.
Exactly. Having Pam Hemphill up yesterday, the MAGA granny.
Oh my God, that was so.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and you notice none of the Trump supporters wanted to come up and talk to her.
No, well, the one that did come up, it reminded me of.
What's that?
When they're trying to get the demon out of you,
The exorcism.
And the holy water starts being sprinkled on them, and the demon is trying to get out of the body, right? The exorcisms. That's what he was like. He got up here and he was like, he was like, I'm trying to get out.
And he dropped himself.
Right?
He dropped himself because he knew he was going to get in trouble on TikTok.
He's like, you have an ex-Trump supporter up here that went to January 6th, and she's saying it's all a lie and all fake and all this.
Right.
I mean, he was losing it. I mean, I was just crazy. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to come up and point out who Yo Baby Daddy is and going after our beautiful black women creators and strong voices that they are.
Yeah.
Shows who he is.
Yeah. Yeah, and he can't handle the smoke. They begging for the smoke, but they can't handle the smoke.
No, and he thought he had a got you, and you're just laughing because you're like, really? You're going to come up with a bet, and that's the determination? That's it? That's it? It's funny. I'm sorry. It just is. But,
and to be honest, Shay, I do believe there's a lot of dumb people that are voting for Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
Because I watched it on TV the other day. They said they were polling these folks that are actually concerned about Biden's age, right? You ever seen these people and they're like in these study groups and they ask them, what do you think about Biden? Oh, I think he's cognitive decline. I'm going to myself, how come none of those folks would ever come talk to Zeus about Biden's mental acuity? Why wouldn't they? I guarantee you we would light the news on fire if they heard what we had to say about President Biden, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
And there's millions of us all across this country that know under no circumstances are we voting for Donald Trump. Biden could be in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. He can be on a respirator. We'll wheel him right in. Anything's better than Donald Trump, for sure.
Right? So CNN, MSNBC, Fox, please interview us. I would love to explain to you why President Biden has earned my vote. All right, I really would.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, again, it's the vote against the, keeping Donald Trump out again. But as Nutty always says, Biden has earned my vote for
Yep.
him at
Yep.
this time.
Yep.
He's done a fantastic job. He's ranked the 14th president out of all the 46.
And where did Donald Trump, where was he ranked?
Dead last.
Did you hear that, your baby daddy?
Dead last. Yeah. And it's a group of bipartisan historians that come up with that list every year. So it has nothing to do with the president ranking themselves, because if that was true, then why didn't in 2018, 2019, did Trump not rank himself one of the best?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They always think it's ranked by that Biden ranked himself that. It's like, no, that's not how that works. But anyway, I've taken enough of your time. Just thought that was really interesting. But yeah, all right.
All
guys.
right. Well, listen,
All right.
ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. No lies to check in on YouTube.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see, we're getting the truth out here. MAGA, they're having a hard time understanding why they are outnumbered, right? And so it's good that they see folks like us having these conversations on TikTok, because when they get beat next time, right, you know what they're going to try to say? Do you really think Biden had that number of votes? Well, look at on TikTok. It's usually the Democrats that got a lot of people in their lives having very good discussions about politics. MAGA lives don't. MAGA lives are full of evil, vile. You know what MAGA lives remind me of? You ever had those biscuits from KFC? I mean, listen, I'm not knocking KFC, but if you compare KFC biscuits to Popeye's biscuits, it's a big difference. MAGA lives are like KFC biscuits, right? I'm going to get in trouble for that. I'm so sorry. Listen, sorry about that, all right? I really am, all right? Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Oh, my goodness, cut it out attacking. I knew it. Listen, they're good, but they're just not as good as Popeye's biscuits.
No,
All right.
Yeah, those biscuits are dry as a bone, in my opinion. So I don't eat them.
Tell them, Miss Baltine. I hate to say it like that, but it is that way, okay? I don't mess with them KFC biscuits.
You got to call a thing, and them biscuits are dry as all deserts of the entire United States of America.
That's so funny.
I never would eat one of those nasty biscuits.
Like eating chalk, huh?
Those biscuits remind me of Donald Trump.
You got me.
All nasty, dry, and doughy.
But that's how it be when you go into those MAGA lives, right? It'd be like that. You'd be like,
so boring.
Oh
it
my
is
God.
so boring. That's why they come in our lives, because they know they don't have no type of excitement. Nothing going on, just they arguing amongst themselves about who ranked the best, throwing coins at each other. I mean, that's just craziness, man. This is straight craziness.
Oh my God.
That's why I don't partake. That's too boring.
Yeah.
Too boring. And then of course the same talking points, which are boring as well.
Right.
So nothing really new, nothing exciting, just plain monotony.
Yeah. And they think they're good at telling jokes and clapbacks, but they're terrible at it. They're very terrible at it. I mean, this guy we
grew up playing the dozens, if you will, or capping, because we cap all the time. I mean,
right.
If you didn't know how to cap, you was definitely gonna get bullied.
Yep.
You had to hold your own.
Exactly.
But yeah, you know what, Shay, I really love you for pointing that out, because I was going to point that out.
Go ahead.
Absolutely, MAGA like yo baby daddy, you know what I mean, or whatever. We
gotta give him a nickname. That name is lame. Let's give him something more fitting. Anyone got a better name for
Scrub? How about Scrub?
Yeah.
How about a scrub,
Yeah.
But, he's very intimidated by us strong black women.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he has a lot more to that list. And as far as, 6 + 4 = 10, that is so whack. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Oh,
Yeah.
she can't tell me what 6 + 4 is. And look, I said the answer without even, thinking about it because he's so stupid.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing he can actually say. You know what I'm saying? He can't say anything else. His lives are dry, just like the
Dry.
crackers that tried to, climb the Capitol, climb the walls of the Capitol. You know what I
Nasty.
mean? And he's just
Nasty.
not, you just need some attention. Well, you really need more than that, huh? You need a little bit
Exactly.
more than that.
He needs
Apparently,
Donald
you
Trump.
ain't getting none.
He needs Donald Trump to, take care of him in that way. You know how he want that.
Yeah, well, if you into mushrooms, I guess that's that's your thing.
Oh, listen. Wow. They make it so easy to do it. Sometimes I don't even do it because I'm just like, listen, it's too much fun when I get activated and I get locked in on them. It's just so much fun that I won't let up, so I just don't even do it. All right, but if
Yeah,
they
me,
want that
me
level
too,
of
Zeus.
attention, if they want it, all right.
See,
Like I said,
we match energy.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yo, baby, yo, whatever the hell. I'm just gonna call you yo, whatever the hell.
yeah, yeah.
That's what's gonna be your name for me from here on out. You already know when you come back in Union Gang, because I know you're gonna be, in Union Gang. And when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do,
go.
you're definitely going to be your ass is gonna be grass. Just know that.
Ooh.
Just know that. It will be grass. You're not
Oh.
gonna get away with all that crap. We're gonna shut you down once and for all because at the end of the day, you know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
uh you really don't mean shit. I mean, oh
Yeah.
excuse me,
Oh,
my
oh,
bad.
wow. Okay, listen.
Look, you
Wow.
didn't even catch that. Good. Don't
No,
give me no 20.
I got it, but listen, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom. All right,
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm
I'm
sorry,
trying my
Zeus's
best.
mom. I apologize to you for sure. Absolutely. But yeah, we got, those people, they kind of agitate that
Yeah.
language because, you just get frustrated with all of the rhetoric that comes spewing from their mouths.
Amen. But we
And
ain't
it's
gonna let it
really
get to
annoying.
us. We're not.
Nah, I've taken a different approach with them people. So, and it's been
All
very
right.
effective for me. So, you know what I
Fair
mean?
enough.
But anyway,
Absolutely.
Zeus, thank you for having me up, sweetheart. You
All
know I
right.
always love when
Go,
you
go,
do.
nurse. All
And
right.
take care and have a wonderful, wonderful day. I love you very
All
much.
right. I love you as well, and keep up the good work. Union Gang, Straight Facts, all of you said he said. All right. I really do appreciate y'all doing what y'all do out here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, my partner in crime, the beautiful Miss Boss Diva. You see, MAGA, we're not intimidated by you over here. We understand what's going on very clear. All right, all your little tricks to get us to get worked up, they don't work because we know we got the ultimate weapon, right? We got the facts on our side, right? And there's nothing that you can do to change it, right? We know Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. That's in the history book. Signed, sealed, and delivered. We know Donald Trump was impeached twice in one term. That's settled law. We know there was no red wave. Settled. All right, we know he has 91 felony charges. Settled. What else? Has he had to pay some money for his essay against E. Jean Carroll? Settled business. What else? The fraud. Settled. So why should I be upset again? Tell me why I should be upset again. Because of a $54 million bet on the internet? What are you going to do? They asking me what I'm going to do if Trump is president. I don't think that's the worst. You shouldn't be spending your energy worrying about what I'm going to be doing. You should be worrying about what you're going to do when Jack Smith convicts him, right? Your entire identity is on the line. And listen, trust me, listen up, come close, all right? There's a guy out here named Snuggles. Go look at him right now. He's looking real sick right now. Because he knows he's not winning. Snuggles, where are you at? Give me my steaks, bro. Get me my steaks. And to all of you Trump supporters, you should be worried about come November what you're gonna do on TikTok. Because I promise you this. Once those polls closed, I got a new. They want to know what I'm gonna do. I have a new platform that I'm going to start doing, all right? And I'm not going to tell you it, but you're more than welcome to be a part of it. I'm only taking you one at a time, but trust me, you're going to like what we're doing once Biden wins again, all right? Oh, it's I be laughing sometimes when I talk about it, all right? I got it written down. All right, listen, I got to bring up some more panelists, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen, straight facts, let's go.
What's going on, Zeus? What's going on, Zeus? I heard my name from far away and I said, woo, somebody's in here talking about straight facts.
You got them tripping out here. You must be doing something over there when you be cooking. What is you cooking over there?
You know, I don't know. I guess it's just, these straight facts that I bring to them. I think they can't handle the straight facts. But it sounds like to me, I do remember being taught in elementary school the magic trick about multiplying nines. Were you ever taught the trick?
Yes, I know all about that.
Oh, okay. So you know that if we do, for instance, 9 times 2, we know that the answer is gonna equal 9, right?
Correct. Yes.
So 1 plus 8 is 9.
Correct.
I guess somebody didn't go to elementary school. And they're telling the whole world about it.
Unpack that. What happened? Is there more to this story?
Yeah. The moral to this story is, if you would have paid attention, somebody, baby daddy, you would have learned in elementary school the way the government works.
Oh.
You also would have learned the no taxation before representation. You remember learning that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also learned about the reason for the peaceful transfer of power.
Oh, that part?
Yes, did you remember reading that part?
I do. I really do.
Yes, and so in learning that, I learned that is one of the most important things that we must have as United States citizens is a peaceful transfer of power. And I understood what a traitor meant in 3rd grade. Did you not understand what that meant?
I did.
Okay. So I think a 3rd grader, not even a 5th grader. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? I don't think your baby daddy is smarter than a 3rd grader, because even a 3rd grader would know better than to vote for Trump.
Hey, you right. He probably
he
probably spent his money in that bet that he was talking about, right? He probably put some money into that little pool, right?
That part, he said, you already know.
He said, "Do you think that we were that stupid?"
So, yo, baby daddy, when you lose that little money that you put up, that little bet you put up, why don't you come back in the kingdom and tell us about it?
Yeah.
Because the problem with you mediocre white men is that exactly that. You're mediocre and you're just figuring out that you're just not as smart as you thought you were. We're better than you. We're smarter than you, and our kids are better than yours. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing that you can do about it.
Nothing. You're just no lies detected.
Well, that was it for me, Zeus. I thought I'd just slide on in here and give my tupo and slide right on out. Well, but I do thank you for the gifts, you guys. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate the gift of you coming in this box and giving it to him. All right, straight facts. You hear that right now?
All right.
You hear that?
Silence. I don't hear. It's silence. You don't hear. Where are you at, MAGA? You're not in the comments. You're not adding me. Oh, is that because I'm spitting these straight facts?
Oh, hit him with it.
Oh, okay. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like straight facts and MAGA. Get ready to give up them tears, you snowflakes. We'll see you in November. Peace out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Straight Facts. Please don't mute the friendlies, all right? I know sometimes it's hard to identify friendly or not, all right? I try to say the best way to do it is to hit that subscribe button if you can, all right? That way they know you are a part of the kingdom. but I don't want you to feel like you have to. All right. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we got to move it on, and then I got to get up out of here. I'll try to get through a couple of more though. All right. Hey Jess, how's it going?
Good morning. I wasn't gonna request today because I feel like I request a lot, but Retribution said that I was a liar and that I was gaslighting, or I said he was gaslighting, excuse me, because remember on Monday I called him out in the box and said he didn't request, right? I asked you if he requested, and he said that in the
Right.
comments after I asked you, he's like, well, he could invite me up. And like now he's backpedaling. He wants me to make a video about him. I don't feel like I have to put that much effort into someone I really dislike. But I have to talk about Trump real quick too. Aside from that clown.
Go for it. Go for it.
Who on earth has asked Truth Social who should be my vice president? Who do you guys think should be my vice president? Let's set up a poll.
That's what Trump did?
Yes, he did. Have you ever heard of this happening? Is that something
No.
that should be occurring?
No.
I feel like that's messy.
No. But that is messy, and that just shows you how childish Donald Trump is. Thank you for the subscription. That shows you how childish Donald Trump is. Yeah.
And you want to know who's on it?
Who?
So now that poll's all done, Trump confirms names on VP shortlist. They're all solid. They're all good names. It is Tim Scott.
Oh, not him!
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh my God.
DeSantis.
Oh my God. Really?
Byron Donald.
Oh, what? Did he go to sellout headquarters? Wow.
And then there is one woman, Christy Noam.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man.
So he wants folks that will do what Mike Pence wouldn't do. And of course,
pretty much,
he goes after the special individuals. Ain't
he wants the ones that he can definitely put over, or I mean, under his thumb and control.
Jesus
he wants
Christ.
to have full loyalty, kneel down, kiss the ring.
They have this is disgusting, and this is disturbing. Am I right, Ange? This is disturbing. Wow. And they think he's going to be president. Right?
They do. And honestly, like, how would that look? Okay, to our allies and to the world. We have a president who's found liable for SA.
Yeah.
A president who owes millions upon millions upon millions of dollars.
Right.
A president that doesn't respect our national secrets.
Nope.
A president that doesn't respect his even constituents.
Nope.
It's insane. And people like Vegas Girl, Retribution, Clickbait, all of you guys, I even want to throw conservative Democrat in there.
Go ahead and throw them all in there. We're going to take out the trash today.
Yeah, you guys get it together. You're so dismissive of victims. You're so dismissive of any systemic issues in our country. Please read a freaking book. Any book. Just one with history in it.
Thank you.
And with that, I heard my bell. Thank you for having me up.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Jess. No lies detected. If you need help reading, raise your hand in the chat. Anybody out there need help reading? Any Trump supporters out there, please raise your hand if you need help reading. All right. I'm willing to carve out some time. I'm willing to take you into the closet of truth, and we can read stuff together. All right. You know, we can start with Dr. Seuss if that would make you feel good. All right. I don't want you to try to jump the gun and get into some real high level stuff now. All right. But I am willing to help you read if that's okay. All right. Ange, I know you're an educator, or, would you be willing to help us get some reading and comprehension assignments passed out to these Trump supporters, all right? Or at least help me grade some of their papers, all right? Because we'll give you something to read, and then we'll give you a little 5 questions that after you read the book, and see if you actually were able to follow along in it. And if there are words you're struggling with, by all means, please reach out to us and let us know how that goes. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This is my last guess, and then I got to get up out of here. Working towards freedom. Good morning. How are you?
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. This is your first
Can you
time
hear
on the. Yes, I can hear you. This is your first time on the show.
Yes, first time. Can you hear?
That's a lot of noise, my good friends. That's a lot of noise. I'll bring you up, said he said. You've been trying to get in here. Send me a request, said he said, and then you'll be my last guest, and I gotta go. For those of you I didn't get to today, please try tomorrow. All right, I promise you. I promise you, I'll get to you. All right. Did he have a phone call? I don't know. It sounded like he was playing his music. All right. Well, I guess that he said didn't want to send the request. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen, that concludes this special broadcast. All right. It was a pleasure checking in this morning with each and every single one of you. I want to make sure you all know you all deserve a round of applause for helping to keep this show as entertaining as it is, right? Cut it out attacking. I was looking for you, but I guess you knew what type of time I'm on right now. All right, to all of my subscribers, to all of my gifters, to the moderators, to the panelists, you deserve a round of applause. Without you, it really wouldn't be possible, right? Helping to make this show as exciting, entertaining, and engaging as possible, all right? And before we wrap things up, you know what we got to do, all right? Join me in giving the Zeus haters out there, as well as your haters, our critics, and our detractors, and all of those election-denying, MAGA-possessed individuals what they deserve. Our final round of booze and shame. It'll be funny to watch you in November, you traitors.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, you are now free to depart this aircraft and go on about your mornings, all right? Stay safe, take care, and don't do nothing I wouldn't do out there in these treacherous TikTok streets. Thank you, Rick. All right, you know where to find me. All right, let's go.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I
Let's
stand
go.
when I'm looking like Zeus.
I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus.
Don't be playing with my mood when I'm grooving like Zeus. You thinking that you cool till I pull up like Zeus.
You don't want me pulling up on you. Do you, MAGA? I'm flyer than an eagle and got bread on me too. Marisol, I love all of you. I really do.
If you living like a bum, get away from me, fool.
I got money on my mind. I can't leave it up to you. Oh, Jess. Be careful, Jess. I might slide up with that thing, alright? You know how I get down.
This is way above the feds when
You playing with the gods and you playing with the dead. Let's go!
Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth.
Player hating on the god, boy, you're such a douche.
I tried to be patient, but
Douche baby daddy. We'll call him douche baby daddy, right, Jess? Right in! He's a player hater, right? We'll call him douche baby daddy.
That's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus.
This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. Please, thank you. How's Zeus doing? Roadster, Rodster. Rodster. You keep crying, okay? Keep crying. Thank you, man. Great lives yesterday, all right? And keep up the great work. Apple user, thank you.
I'm hotter than Hades and I'm burning down the road.
Triumph with Trump in prison, absolutely. Mr. Good, thank you.
I gotta choose.
If you play around with love, magic.
I didn't make the game of rules,
So don't play me like a fool. Cole said, thank you so much.
Even though I'm hot,
People telling me be cool. They want me to be cool. They tell me I need to relax.
like a goof. Time to let loose with the truth. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth. Playing hating on the gods, please such a douche.
Oh, Jimmy, you're here. Mom said get back in the basement. She said you're on punishment. You're on timeout, Jimmy. She said you didn't clean up your room yesterday. Gotta listen to your mom. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. Thank you, Garvey. Thank you. Like Zeus. Don't be playing with my mood when I'm moving like Zeus. You thinking that you cool till I pull up like Zeus. Linda, thank you. You have a great day too. Thank you for subscribing. I'm a god, call me Zeus.
I just want to find 11,780.
I'm going out of business. I'm going out of business in November. Woo, these Trump supporters. They sick right now, right? That is so hilarious. See you in the street. Reggie, let's hit him with the Jack Smith remix.
He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Yeah, you heard Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. Donald Trump is indicted and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges. And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
I am not going out of business in November. I'm going to be in business as long as Jack Smith, Fonnie Willis, Letitia James, and Alvin Bragg are in business. Why haven't you traitors figured this out? Oh my God. All right, listen. Let me go ahead and give it to him. You know what I like to do.
They started just recently with this.
Here it goes. Listen up, MAGA. We waited for it.
They could have brought this lawsuit, Brennan, 3 years ago, right after I left. It's been 3 years. But they didn't do that. And now they're saying, we have to go immediately before the Supreme Court.
Yep.
This thing would have all been over with 2 years ago. But they waited and waited and waited, and then they saw I was running, and they waited, and then they saw I was hot.
Oh, we saw he was hot.
And they filed lawsuits. These are very dishonest people. That's called election interference. And now they're fighting like hell because they want to try and get a guilty plea.
Absolutely.
From the Supreme Court of the United States, which I can't imagine because you have presidential immunity.
Oh,
that strange things happen, but they want to get that because that's the only way they're going to win the election.
Oh.
It's a very sick thing. But think of it. They waited and waited and waited for years. In fact, nobody thought, everyone was saying they're never going to bring any charges. Most people said they're not going to bring them because they don't have anything. And then all of a sudden we started getting hit with these lawsuits. And you know, now they're saying, let's...
You see that? That's rambling. That's rambling of a guilty man right there, MAGA. You only talk like that when you know the feds is coming for you. All right, yes, we waited and waited. It don't matter if it took us 40 years. It don't matter if it took 7, 8, 9. We gonna get Donald Trump. You know what Letitia James did in New York? You know, they said she campaigned on getting Donald Trump. You know what I say? Promises made, promises kept. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. But before we do, we got to drop the bomb.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black,